Alright, so first thing you're going to want to do, guys, is you're going to want to grab a couple of tools. Now, the FRS is a painted bumper cover where your access hole is for your tow hook, your factory tow hook. And on the BRZ, it's across this the front black applique here, or mustache, as some of you like to call it. So what I'm using here is just kind of like a non-marring plastic trim removal toolkit. This is actually, I think, used for windshield or trim, exterior trim around the windows. But in any event, it's going to work well here. So you're going to want to locate the little indentation or the little gap that's kind of beneath that there. And you're just going to want to pry ever so gently. And this should just pop right out of place, right? There's only a couple of plastic clips that hold this. And there we go. So this pops out. Now you'll notice here right away that it's held into place by another little plastic piece. And if you pull on this, it will come out. But before we go and do that, I'm going to show you what you're going to want to do in order to locate. You can remove this piece entirely and then install your bumper relocate, or sorry, your license plate relocate threaded rod. But I'm picky and anal, so what I'd like to do is I kind of want to maintain as much of this plastic cover as possible to just eliminate any sort of debris or anything that's going to get back there. So the one thing you're going to want to do is once you've removed that and get it out of the way, I've taken a punch here that actually has a very similar size to the threaded insert inside there. And I've just applied a little bit of grease just to the end of the tip of the punch. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to slide, you can use anything really that just kind of fits into place. So what I've done is I've just slide it in just ever so gently. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pop this back into place. And then what that's going to do is it's going to indent or leave a small impression on the very back of your trim piece here with the grease that's going to show you approximately where you're going to want to do a pilot hole to start drilling into place. So I've already done that. I've already marked it, so it's already got the little grease mark there. And what we're going to want to do is I'm just going to come over here, and as you can see, if you could just gently pull or tug on this, it's just held in by this little plastic guy here, which to get back into place, we're going to compress and then insert, and it should be okay. Now, if you have any difficulty, or sorry, I should say you just apply pressure this way, it'll pop into place. And this just keeps it from falling out should this cover fall out, okay? So anyway, simple stuff. You can see my grease mark, or maybe you can't, because I can't tell. So we're going to get a drill bit, and we're going to start on this. Alright, so the next thing you're going to want to do, guys, is you're going to want to prepare your drill and your bit. Now, what I recommend using is, I like to use in, kind of applications like this, we're going to be drilling from the backside. So, I mean, there's a little less emphasis, and we're starting with a pilot hole, so there's certainly a little less emphasis in making sure that this bit, makes a mess. As it punches through, it's going to obviously make a mess on the other side. But again, we're gonna open up the hole a little bit bigger. We're just doing a pilot right now. But what I like to use is like a brad point bit. And if you're not sure what a brad point bit is, it looks like a standard bit, but it's got a very, very minute or very small tip to it. And what this does is this just it stops the bit from wandering, right? So this is going to help you kind of keep it in one area as you prepare your pilot hole. So what I would recommend doing is, if you have a workbench at home, terrific. But I recommend putting this obviously on something that you can drill through. Conveniently, I usually have spare pieces of foam laying around. In this particular case, I've got the foam that actually came out of the Raceseng kit. So we're just going to use that because it came out of the kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my bit down where the grease is. And again, we're going to start. I'm using a 1/8 bit here. Slow speed, and that's it. Boom, we've started our pilot hole. Cool, that's simple. The bit didn't wander at all. We're good to go. All right, now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to determine the size of this threaded shaft here, because the black portion is going to be the part that sticks out. So we're going to want to determine that size, and you've got a couple of options, and we'll go over your options and kind of decide what might be the best scenario for this. All right. Cool. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we obviously need to drill a hole large enough in here to accommodate that shaft. So what I've done is I've taken my dial calipers here, and I've measured this out, and it's coming out at approximately 22.5 millimeter. Converting that to inch, it's like 0.88 inches or whatever. So what we're going to do is we're just going to try to find something now that can do this. Now, there are two preferred methods. You can try with, a small grinder or whatever to do that, but you're not going to get a really clean hole. So what I would really recommend doing is one of two things. Now, the first, and the one that I would probably go to first, would be what's called a step bit. Now, unfortunately, the largest step bit I have only goes to about 22 millimeters, so it doesn't actually go to the 22.5. So it would really mean that I would have to sit there and kind of hog it out after, and I think that it's not going to give it a very clean and desirable look. So the second method, which is very common as well, is going to be using a hole saw. So as you can see here, again, the hole saw provides a brad point tip, which is nice. And when used properly and slowly, because this is plastic, it's not going to require a ton of force. You can actually get a really clean cut using this. And for any burrs or anything after, you can just hit up with some light sandpaper, or even just an X-Acto knife or something like that to just kind of clean it up a little bit. Again, nobody's going to really be seeing a lot of this because it's going to be located behind the plate frame itself. So, but I'm anal and I'm fussy, so I like to do things the right way. So I found a hole saw. This actually works out really well. This is a 25 millimeter hole saw. We need a 22.5, but you're going to want to allow for some clearance naturally, just because there's going to be variance in the hole that I've measured out and all that other good stuff. So I would encourage you to clamp this down or do something. Obviously safety first, wear eyewear and everything. And we're just going to start drilling away here and pray that I got this as centered as possible. Otherwise, we're going to have to go to a larger bit. So let's see how we make out. All right, now I took my time there, guys, and the reason I did that is because, as I said, it's plastic. You don't really need to go too quickly with it. A lot of the times it'll melt, and as you can see, we've been able to produce a very clean hole there. I would say that that's about as tidy as that's going to get. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're now going to want to take this, and we're going to want to thread in this bad boy, and we're going to want to see if it all lines up. So let's go have a look. Alright guys, so what I've done is I've popped this back on. Now the one thing I haven't done is I haven't fished through or threaded in, or not threaded, but I haven't fished through that little clip yet, or that little string dongle or whatever, only because I just wanted to test fit this first. So we've put it in and we can see that it's nicely, flush mounted onto the bumper. It's secured into place. And we're just going to thread this guy in, and we're going to fish around for the hole. Now I have to play with it a little bit, but as we push this through, and you kind of fish around, you're gonna see that the there you go, boom, and there we are. So I've located the hole. I can start to thread that in, and I'll just show you there. I hope you can see it on the camera. I mean, the fitment is, I might have been off on the hole maybe slightly, maybe by a millimeter, a couple millimeters or so. So it is stressing this plastic a little bit, but again, it's also -2 degrees in my garage, so I'm not surprised that maybe that the plastic itself is contracted a bit. Now I can clean this up a little bit. I might go into it a little bit with, like, as I said, with a Dremel tool, or maybe a little bit of sandpaper, even an X-Acto knife. But quite frankly, I'm really pleased with the way that it fits, and it's not because we're going on an angle. And this plastic is kind of concaved or curved to the form of the bumper. I'm not surprised. So, but overall, I'm really pleased with the way that fits. So I'm just going to grab the GoPro here and kind of see if I can bring it closer so you guys can have a look. So that's kind of the way that it sits there. Yeah, so as you can see, that's all clipped into place, and I'm really happy with the fitment there. Alright guys, so I've got both parts here. I've got both the license plate bracket and the tow hook. And this is just for, test fitting purposes. We're going to want to see how it looks, okay? So I'm just going to adjust the camera here a little bit. All right, terrific. So first things first, we'll try the tow hook here. And again, this is just a test fit, guys. We're not permanently installing this yet, but let's just have a look and see what it looks like. There you go. I'd say that's a great success. Really like the way that looks. Complements the red there. Yeah, really pleased with that. Awesome. Now let's move on to the license plate cover, shall we? Or the license plate bracket, I should say. So let's unthread this guy here carefully. And I just want to comment that the threads that Raceseng has cut here, it's almost as if there's some sort of coating on them. But I mean, they're brilliant. I'm not really sure what to say, but again, really nice stuff. All right. There we go. All right. So that little lock nut that I showed earlier is so that you can position this naturally when you start threading this in. You know, it can only go so deep in the threads before it interferes or hits the bumper. And as you can see, I'm just kind of positioning this now. You know, this isn't permanently installed yet, but that little lock nut kind of holds it into place so that you can lock the position of this more to the tilt than anything. But because of that little spherical ball that's back there, it allows you to kind of contour the plate, you know, to the bumper. And as you can see, you know, that's pretty awesome. I'm really, really content with the overall design and the fitment of all of this. Again, you know, rather than having the kind of distasteful, you know, holes kind of put into this bumper, you know, and that front plate that comes down that's going to block, you know, the airflow, I think that this is really nice. Now, I mean, naturally this does block a little bit over here, but I'd say if anything, you're going to want to focus more of the air through here. You know, you're getting to the end tanks of the rad and the condenser at that point over there, so you're going to want to focus more of that. Furthermore, for forced induction, naturally, you're going to want more air going there. All right. Well, on that note, I would say that this install was a great success. Everything went in rather easy and you know, in my opinion, rather effortless. I want to just point out that, you know, this was one take. I didn't really test fit most of the stuff ahead of time. So that just goes to show that, you know, with some basic tools and some, you know, intermediate knowledge on what you're doing, you can do this yourself. Again, thank you, Raceseng, and thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you find it helpful, and look forward to seeing you in the next video.